Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's actually, well, I should be playing D&D right now for the second week of this session, but I have some freelance work to do like usual, and it sucks. But whatever, money, which is always good, but it's cutting into my D&D time. Anyways, last week was the first week of the season. We were investigating the Death House, I believe it was called, before getting into the Curse of Strahd official book. So party members and I, we go into this town, and it's first it kind of started out weird. We were at a campsite, and then a bunch of fog rolled in where we couldn't even see each other. And when the fog lifted, we were in a completely different area. We saw there was a bunch of trees near us and a path in the trees. So we went on the path and came to basically this little town. And it was weird. It was like eerily silent. Like there was nothing going on. It looked like nobody was home. And then we keep on going a little bit farther, and we find these two kids. One of them's maybe 9 years old, the other one's maybe 5-ish. And we're like, well, what are you doing out here? And we find out that normally they get locked in their room at night because of a monster in the basement. But the monster was making a lot of ridiculous noise, so they left the house. Like, okay, well, we'll help you deal with this situation. So we go to the house, and we find out the kids' bedrooms are upstairs. So we start walking around, and this house is like really nice and really super clean, like unnaturally clean. And so we're just investigating this house, and we're noticing that everything's a little bit too perfect. It's really quite odd. We go, into the dining room. Everything's right in its place. We go into the kitchen, and it looks as if somebody had just thoroughly cleaned the house. We're like, okay, this is weird, and we're seeing all these strange carvings. Like, well, they look normal until you look at them up close, and then you notice, like, hey, there's skulls in here, there's wolves, and I don't know, just creepiness all over. And we're like, okay, well, nothing's really happening on this level. We can't figure out how to get into the basement, so we're like, okay, let's go upstairs. So we go up the stairs, and we're seeing more of pretty much the same. Everything's in this right place, and it's just unnaturally clean. Somebody, kind of moved a painting that was on the wall to see if there was something behind it, and then they found, like, a single cobweb. But other than that, the place is perfectly spotless. So we continue on. Still not finding anything of major interest, just a weird, creepy vibe coming from this house. So when we head up to the third level, like I said, nice, ginormous house. When we get to the third level, this is where we start seeing some dust. We're like, okay. We go look around, and we find, on the first level there was a painting of the family, and there was the two kids, the mom and dad, and then they were holding, one of the parents was holding a baby, and the mom was just giving this look like, kind of unsettling look in the painting. So when we got to the third level, we found another painting, and it looks pretty much as it should. There's no weird looks. That's just a painting of the family again. We look around some more, and we found what we thought was the kids' room, but it turns out it wasn't. I'll tell you about the kids' room in a couple of minutes. So we go to the fourth floor of this house, and it's really dusty up there. to the point of which it's probably a little bit harder to breathe. So we get to this landing, and we start to go a little bit right past this suit of armor. And the suit of armor comes alive. Not good. I didn't even tell you about my character. So the surprise character that I created for last week was essentially Captain Hammer from Dr. Horrible in D&D form. So he's a human fighter, and he has the defense fighting skill, so like he'll push people aside and like block things from hitting them. Which he has low intelligence but very high charisma. I had so much fun building this character because I'm like, okay, what would Captain Hammer do? So his name is Captain Battleaxe because I couldn't do flat out Captain Hammer. That's just too unoriginal, even though Captain Battleaxe is very, very close. But so, I run up there, or he runs up there, and he swings, I think I used a sword at first, and totally miss. And it didn't make it back around to me, so Captain Battleaxe isn't that impressive yet. So, we beat this haunted suit of armor, and so we go investigating a little bit more. Come across a bedroom which looks like it's the parents' bedroom. It's a very large bedroom. There's a bed in there. There's, closets. There's an armoire, whatever. And then, as we're investigating some more of this level, we come across a closet, and of course the DM baited us. So we were just going to leave the closet be because it was getting a little bit later in the adventure than we should have been at this point. So our DM's like, well, are you sure you don't want anything from the closet? I keep on remembering things I forgot to say earlier in this video. One of our party members is like, I'm gonna go in there and grab the broom and raise it above my head. The DM's like, well, before you do that, the broom hits you over the head, roll initiative. I'm like, seriously, we're going to fight a broom? So, since I'm kind of in the back of the group at this point, I'm just like, I look at the DM, can I just go back into the bedroom and, like, take a nap while this is going on? Because this is stupid. He's like, it's not going to be a long nap. I'm like, that's fine. Because I want nothing to do with this. Because it's a battle with a broom. And the best part is, the broom almost killed that party member. He's down to 1 hit point. Backtracking a little bit, when we were investigating downstairs, we came across I know this is stupid, but I find it very, very amusing. You get when we were on the main level, opened a closet, and we were looking, and there's some jackets in there, and there's a top hat. At the same time, but I got it out just a little bit faster, 3 of us said, I grabbed the top hat. So Captain Hammer now has a top hat. Sexy. Anyways, back to where I was before I kind of backtracked a bit. So the broom is now dead, and we open up another door, and it's the kid's bedroom. And obviously it has not been lived in. Nobody's been in there for a long time. It's all dusty. Inside that bedroom, we find a dollhouse, which is basically an exact replica of the house we were in. So we were able to see the way to get to the basement, which is good. But while we were in there, we also saw child skeletons, so children's bones. And that's when, like, the spirits of the kids came out and basically told us that they're stuck there until they're buried. And they need to be buried in the basement, which makes sense some way. I don't know. And that's pretty much where we left it last week. Unfortunately, I want to know how they continued on, because I was the one that was carrying the bones of the kids. So somebody obviously had to take over that, but it would be kind of funny if they couldn't continue because I had the bones. So anyways, yeah, so new storyline, obviously. And I'm really excited for this Captain Battleaxe character. I'm hoping he's pretty epic. And it's interesting fighting as a human, because I had an elf before, I had a bard before, both can use magic, and he can't. So it's really quite bizarre to me leveling up. He is level 2 now, so he could do a little bit more, but he's still kind of a weakling. But I'm still having fun with him. Alright, and I guess that is all. I will hopefully make a new video next week. And if I can't make D&D next week, I'm going to cry. So hopefully I won't be crying in the next video. Bye!